Hello students, myself Om Prakash Katre and you are welcome to Biology Divide. Today we are discussing the class 10 chapter life processes and the topic is exchange of gases between alveoli and the blood. Exchange of gases between the alveoli and blood. So how do the exchange of CO2 and oxygen is take place between the alveoli in the blood. Students, oxygen, it is PO2 stands for partial pressure of the oxygen and PCO2 stands for the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide. If partial pressure is more, suppose the one part partial pressure of oxygen is more and other part partial pressure of the oxygen is less. So oxygen move from the higher partial pressure to lower partial pressure, and this is the process called the diffusion process. So exchange of gases between the alveoli and the blood will take place due to the diffusion process. So we should understand the first important part, the structure of alveoli. Students, this is the structure of alveoli. Alveoli are the sac-like of structure, and this alveoli sac-like structure occurs in the lung. So this is the one alveoli, and this alveoli region is a sac-like structure which occur in the lung, and this type of many alveoli. So from the outside, outside the oxygen enter in the alveoli, and this oxygen come in the alveoli. So the partial pressure of oxygen here is a high. This is the very important. This alveoli membrane is a very thin membrane. Now what happens? Outside the alveoli, here are the blood vessels. Alveoli are lined with the blood vessels. This is the blood vessel, and these are outside the alveoli. In diagram also it is mentioned. So in blood vessel, this is the part is called the blood vessel. Blood vessel outside the alveoli. Alveoli is sac-like structure having the thin membrane, and outside the alveoli it is the blood vessel. In the blood vessel there are the RBCs, WBCs, plasma, blood platelets, and all. So these are structure which used to say RBCs. RBCs are present in the blood vessels. Now what happens? This RBC, individual RBC I am taking, this RBC is having the red pigment. So red color pigment, and this red color pigment present in the RBC, it is called the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. What is the red color pigment present in the RBC? It is called the hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin is also known as respiratory pigment. Respiratory pigment. So one question, what is the name of respiratory pigment? Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin occur in the RBC. This is the RBC, and it is the red color pigment. So we should understand how the exchange of gases take place between alveoli and the blood. So from the nostrils region, oxygen comes, it goes to the nasal chamber to pharynx, then it goes to the trachea. After the trachea, it comes in the bronchus, bronchiole, and after the bronchiole, it goes to the primary, secondary bronchiole, and that is come in the alveoli. This is the region is called the alveoli. So in alveoli, partial pressure, P is for partial pressure of oxygen is the high, but outside it is the blood vessel, because the alveoli, outside the alveoli there is a blood vessel, and in blood vessel the partial pressure of the oxygen is low. So what happens? Due to the diffusion process, this oxygen of the alveoli is diffused into the blood vessel. It goes to the blood vessel. So this is called the exchange of oxygen between alveoli to the blood vessel. Oxygen of the alveoli goes to the blood vessel, And when it goes to the blood vessel, this oxygen is combining with the hemoglobin. HB stands for hemoglobin. So this oxygen which come in the blood vessel, it come combined with the hemoglobin and it form the oxyhemoglobin. It's called the oxyhemo oxyhemoglobin. And in this form, globin. In this form, this oxygen is transported to different part of the body. So along with the blood, the oxygen is transported to the different part of body. So this is the transport of oxygen from the alveoli to the blood vessel to blood, and blood to this body organ. Through the blood, it goes to the different part of the body or body organ. So it is exchange of oxygen. Similarly, in blood vessels, there is a high concentration of carbon dioxide. So partial pressure of carbon dioxide is high. So from this blood, of carbon dioxide enter into alveoli because alveoli is having the partial pressure of CO2 is the rho. So this CO2 of blood vessel enter into the alveoli. So it is called exchange of carbon dioxide between blood vessel to the alveoli. Why? Because blood vessel partial pressure of carbon dioxide is high. So this carbon dioxide enter into alveoli because alveoli here partial pressure of carbon dioxide is low. And this both process, exchange of gases between alveoli to blood and exchange of CO2 from CO2 blood to alveoli, this is take place by the diffusion process, and it is all about exchange of gases between alveoli and the blood vessel. Thank you.